This is BBS hearing for Thursday, April 6th, 2023.
This is case MI 2023-001-777 for the property located at 5328 Wakefield Street. The appellant was Andy Barrios.
The board members have reviewed the pictures sent by the owners of 5328 Wakefield Street. They purchased the property in approximately 2020. The pictures show that there are 4 electric meters on the outside of the building, indicating that there are at least 3 units inside, and that it is they bought it as an R2 building. Therefore, we are not requiring that they put in a sprinkler system.
Do we need to, does Ted and Amy need to put their names on the record?
I'm Amy Rivera, board member.
There you
I'm Ted Agus, board member.
go. Okay.
Off the record for 1 second, just for the court.
Okay. All right. Anything else for that case?
No.
No. Okay. So we can go off the record, and I guess you can pause the recording.
We're going to amend our decision on 5328 Wakefield Avenue after the executive session. We are granting the variance that the building was bought as an R2 building, even though it was listed with LNI as an R3 building. So we're not requiring a new sprinkler system. We are allowing it to be a 3-story building, even though that's not allowed for an R2. The existing stairs, landing, and hallway do not meet the required width for the R2, but they are existing conditions, so we are granting the variance to allow all of that as is. End of hearing. Do we need to record us signing this?
I don't think we've ever done them. I think we've done them at the end, haven't we? Jackie?
Someone doesn't have audio before you start.
Oh,
Rob
okay.
Robertson.
Right, you're right. Sorry.
I didn't want to.
It's okay. We can wait.
Rob is my client. He's in the ownership group for 4408 Lancaster, but we have the GC and the structural engineer here. So if the board is otherwise ready to proceed, I don't want to keep everyone held up if you're on our case.
Well, on that note.
So do you want me we'll start from the beginning?
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Amy Rivera, acting chair for the Board of Building Standards.
Ted Agus, board member.
Ryan McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Matthew Wojcik, Licenses and Inspections Supervisor.
So unfortunately, this afternoon, the witness for the city is not available. He has other court hearings he's being detained in. We are not going to be able to hear the violation cases today. They're going to have to be rescheduled to either April 20th or May 4th. So you're going to have to email Deborah Richardson and I guess let her know what your preference is. But we apologize, but he's just not available and he has to be here as the witness for the city.
Understood. I'll get in touch with Deborah. I have her email. We'll probably aim for the earlier date.
All right, Deborah, you want to put that on the record that they 4408 Lancaster will be heard on April 20th.
Yes, I can do that. Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Do you want me to just email you the dates?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I
And Miss Linda. We can't hear you.
Linda, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay, Linda has indicated that she would also like April 20th to be for her reschedule.
okay.
What, would that also be at 1 PM?
I'm sorry, Mr. Miller?
Would that also be at 1 PM?
Yes. Yes, if you can make the 20th, that would be great. And I can just schedule everything for 1 PM on the 20th. Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
everybody's
can't-
brought in the room together.
Yeah, but why don't we do them in the same order that they were scheduled today, just so, keep it simple.
That's correct. I can do that. Yes. And everybody's okay for April 20th, then we'll be rescheduling this for April 20th.
Thank you.
My apologies.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Are we, the three applicants who you've been speaking to, are we excused from the hearing?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
very much. Bye-bye.
and recording.
Jackie, back on the record.
Hi, I'm Amy Rivera, acting chair for the Board of Building Standards meeting today.
Ted August, board member.
Ryan McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI Supervisor.
Need me in there too.
No, is Phil here?
Yeah, I'm here. This is,
Okay.
this is MI 2023-001-879 for the property located at 1238 Buttonwood Street. Carolina Pena is the appellant.
Let it be noted that Caroline Pena, her ID on the Zoom screen says Michelle.
Yeah, so Carolina is our firm's principal, and I'm with Parallel Architecture Studio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you identify?
Michelle Kleshik for Parallel Architecture Studio.
Okay, Michelle, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth today?
I do.
You can
Yes, you
present
spell
your,
your last name. I'm sorry.
Kleshik, Aleschik.
you can present your case.
So this project had some confusion because there is an alley along the side that opens onto Buttonwood Street that previous to our office taking the project, we thought had gotten approval to be removed. And it, like in the process of construction, it came back that that alley had actually not been stricken from anything. And so the neighbors asked us to provide an exit back to the street in the case that, I guess they had had that exit. And they had asked for that alley to be returned. So we had created a fire rated passageway that goes under the house or under the building, kind of like on, double houses where it goes through the buildings. Out to Buttonwood Street. So in case of emergency, they did have that exit to the street. And then I guess the fact that it's because there's an open light well in the middle, it says that it's you exit and return into a building. So like it's kind of a defined passageway, but it goes outside and then it gets covered again.
Do
So
you
I
have a
guess-
site plan that you could share?
Yeah.
So we could.
Yeah, hold on one second. So. Let me zoom. Come on. So the alley will go under here. If you can see my mouse, it'd go under there. And there's Buttonwood Street there and 13th Street to the left.
And you said there were two other properties that were accessing it prior to your construction?
Yeah, so along this right-hand side, I think there's at least one. I don't know if there was two that had formerly had access to that alley. but there's at least the one that's directly adjacent.
So Matthew, does that mean the other adjacent buildings now have violations or issues?
Just looking at the deeded view now. So it's only accessing 1236, 1234 and Buttonwood, and then 449, what is that, like North 13th?
So this one over here, I don't think ever had any access to the alley. The original alley was along this side. And
Yeah,
it was written in as part of our lot. So
Yeah, it
this one
is.
over here had its own access somewhere else, I think, to a different alley.
okay, I see that now. Okay, so it looks like it's accessing yours, 1238, 1236, and 1234, and just those. So take it those other two were the neighbors that that called in.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So the other two properties, I guess would depend on if they have bedrooms at the rear of their buildings that need emergency escape and rescue openings. Or if they need like a second exit from the rear. Those would be the two conditions where they would need to have that alley open.
But you,
Okay,
you're proposing to provide a passageway. It's simply a question of having to go back under your building into the light well and
Correct.
back under the building again and out to Buttonwood. Is that?
Yeah, correct. So our solution was, since we thought the alley was, since we thought it was solely on our property, we were going to still provide an access, but it would be covered that you would, enter from the rear and then go through this light well, which is considered exiting the building, and then back under the building to get out to the street.
And will those sort of tunnels, if you will, I mean, will they be rated both, the walls and the ceiling?
Yes, yes. And that we were looking to you, we were gonna suggest that the other question was, is this back wall, since we have a piece of structure in this wall that needs to be rated. So there was going to be a 1 hour rating on that portion of the wall to cover the structure. And then the actual corridor or like the passageway wall would be a 2 hour wall. But the question there does that need to be 2 hours since it's on a property line, or is 1 hour sufficient? And I guess the rating on that wall is the question. The exterior wall.
This is at is this at the first floor
Yeah, let me
where
do
that
the-
structural portion is?
Yeah, let's see here. It's probably easier to see. Oops,
And I think this is a podium building with type 1A at the first floor.
correct.
Okay,
So yeah, we were going to rate this 1 hour along the property line that's required by the construction type, and then 2 hour from the actual building.
Oh, so that's
From the
actually,
occupied.
the first part is exterior until you get to the light well, and then you're only going back inside.
It's,
Well,
well, it
you're
does have, it
undercover.
has.
It goes-
yeah, you're
it goes
you're
into the
undercover.
building.
No, I understand, but it's open.
It
to
would
the-
be open air, but it's undercover.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, Matt, do you think that should be 2 hour as well? I mean,
That portion that's open, but not like,
Yeah, so this wall here.
Right,
we could operate
that's
open.
open, but not like, it doesn't have doors on it, essentially.
Right.
I mean, I can see why, like, it wouldn't really need doors, because emergency escape and rescue openings, we kind of allow like those tunnel alleys because they're not meant to be used as a legal means of egress, which it looks like in this case is kind of isolated from the rest of the building's egress system.
Right, so and then even this one, because of the fact that it does pass underneath the building, we were gonna suggest that, there's a gate or a door or something here, but it also has all the egress, all the egress hardware and everything, so it would be very obvious if you had to come through here that you could continue out to the street.
Yeah, which is good.
it just put some exit signage in there to make it clear for somebody not familiar with the building that.
Right, that this is an exit to the
Ooh,
street.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, big sign on that says exit to Buttonwood Street, and just a push
Yeah.
bar.
And also on the inside, for people
So
to
this one.
like
Right.
inside the building to know that.
Oh, yeah,
that
not
the
an
way
exit
out
to
is
the
like,
street.
yes, yeah,
Okay,
put signs there saying like not an exit, because
Okay,
technically it's
yeah.
not.
right, yeah, you can go outside, but it's not an exit.
Yeah,
Michelle, in the lower right-hand corner there where it says alley, kind of perpendicular to that, is that continuing along the side of 449?
Correct. Yeah, it's along the backyard of those and along the edge of the 449.
So
I'm
so
not
that
sure how
will be
far.
maintained as well.
That what?
That alley will remain. That's not being impacted by any of this. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
So is that the only opening at the property line? I think the light bulb, because it's all open, is it technically an opening?
Yeah,
You
like,
just
I
have an
don't-
opening on the property line, and I'm assuming it's the one where the alley bumps in.
Yeah, there's an opening here, and then here, this does not have a wall on the outside.
Right.
I'm not sure if this backyard butts up to that or not, but there would not be a wall here. It would be open air along the property line there.
Unless the neighbors want to build one.
Right, yeah, exactly. If they put one on their side, that's on them.
And that wall to the right of the alleyway, at the bottom of that wall, yes. That
This
is
one?
supporting building above, correct?
So there's a column in this corner and a column in this corner, and there's potentially a piece of bracing in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's supporting it, but it's not I guess it could potentially be opened up, but I'd have to talk to the structural engineer as to what we would do with the piece of bracing.
No, I'm not asking you to open it up. I'm trying to understand the fire rating.
Okay.
I don't know, it appears to me it would want to be a 2-hour, but Matthew, I'll refer to your judgment.
For what part again?
For this wall here. I don't know how to do. I can't.
Seems like
Yeah,
it
you're
should.
pointing at it.
This little
We can see
piece
your
here.
cursor.
Oh, right, that. I mean, the rules are kind of iffy because it's part of the emergency escape and rescue opening, which doesn't need to follow all the rules of like exit passageway and all that. So it can kind of, so it's kind of like I could, like, wait. So that was part of the primary structural frame, the one on the exterior?
Correct. It's there's framing inside of it that's part of the primary structural framing, yes.
Right.
But
It's
my
all- and it's all
point-
non-combustible.
My point is just that it's on the property.
Yeah. So primary structural frame, that's type 1A, right? That whole first story.
Correct.
So that would have to be 2 hours. Because
Yeah.
it says here, primary structure frame type 1A, it says 3 hours, but if it's only supporting a roof, which in this case, it's basically supporting a roof of the type 1A portion of the building, since the separation makes it 2 separate buildings. So I
it
think
would
2
need
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, we can add some more chips into that and beef it up to 2 hours. That's fine.
Okay. I mean, Amy, I think as long as they're doing that, I'm comfortable with it.
I agree.
And again, the walls and at the ceiling of those passageways.
Everything would be 2 hours.
Yeah, so we do have a concrete floor ceiling structure above that.
Got
So
it.
that's already kind of inherently, and then concrete floor below it. So, but I can make sure it's clearly noted that that's all 2 hours.
Great.
And then exit sign to the street, and not an exit sign.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So I can just add those note and submit that as the RFI, and then the decision will come in to kind of coordinate that with that from your side.
Yeah, we'll recommend to the commissioner the variance as we just noted, and you can resubmit your drawings.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Okay,
Good luck.
thank you, Michelle.